have my seasons. Some days I'm a poet, some days I'm an author, some days I'm a painter, an artist, a chalkboard letterer, some days I'm just a really good girlfriend, some days I'm a horrible motherfucking girlfriend. Hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Victoria, and I'm here with you discovering what the fuck it means to be me. This is the official creativity video that in my mind I have been trying to ironically create. So far in this journey of 30 days of vlogging, it's been really difficult to say that I can and am doing one thing. No, I still don't know who I am. However, I do have an idea of what I like to do. And that is just simply to create. So in this video, along this entire journey so far, I'm going to share with you the one principle that's really been able to stick with me throughout this entire time of creative expression. And it's only been 2 months since I've really put myself on screen. But since then, since opening my fucking mouth and doing things that I like to do and that I want to do and exploring those things, even if I don't like it or agree with it, it makes me uncomfortable. I can tell you that I'm learning a lot of valuable insight about myself, and the principle that I follow that I'm going to share with you happens to be the most potent one that I've received or downloaded or kind of been able to cultivate thus far. So if you're staying with me for this, that is awesome, and I hope you enjoy the ride. If you're not already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel link down below, and let's get started. So basically, I could start this video, and I've been thinking about starting this video. There's many ways I could start this video, and I was thinking about starting this video with defining what creativity is, and I don't think that's necessary to do that. So I can tell you that I have been creating ever since I was a little girl, and when I think of the things that I like to do when I was a kid in terms of art is I would make gifts for people. Specifically, I remember always making gifts for my father, and I made him gifts to express and emote the love that I had for him. And I specifically remember him hanging up all of the artwork that I made him around his office. So I think, in retrospect, seeing those images of my artwork displayed around his work made me feel worthwhile. And as I got older, I thought to myself, well, the gift of art for me is the art of giving. So how do I combine the two? So I'm going to keep going so we can kind of dive into that together. This is my theory as of right now. Yes. What I'm starting to realize or guess or culminate, I keep saying that from this point on, is that as I got older and the more complex my emotions became, the more tools and resources and languages and outlets I needed to use to express them. And if you're anything like me, going through a childhood that's pretty traumatic, and it doesn't have to be as severe as some of the most brutal cases out there. Trauma is trauma, but if the deeper that you feel, and typically the more trauma you go through, the deeper you can usually feel things, which is why you want to shut that bitch off. But if you allow yourself to feel, it's really, really expressive, and sometimes it's really powerful and it comes off too much. For myself, learning how to emote has been like a dedicated life practice that I'm kind of sick of doing, and then I'm grateful for it, and then I fucking hate it, and then I love it, and then whatever. I know what therapy is for. And what I'm saying is, as my life experience continued, and as I got older, and the experiences, again, started to culminate, I keep saying that word, the more complex my experiences got in life, the more complex, or the more, like I said, the resources and tools that I needed to express those emotions, because those started to become even multi-layered, needed ways to come out too, if that makes sense, if you guys know what I'm saying. As an artist myself, that in particularly can be pretty difficult, because you want to be able to create art for the rest of your life, because it's the only thing that makes you feel sane when you express yourself. At least for me, I'll speak with the I statement. When I express myself, I feel like I can handle life. And like I said in a previous video, sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down, so sometimes my emotions don't come out the most eye-pleasing way that Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or whatever excuses that I possibly could have in my tool belt of why I wouldn't create. It doesn't look nice, it doesn't look pretty. But again, if you watch my other videos, it's all about just fucking experiencing the whole range of human emotion, and I'm just going to learn how to express that properly with skill and technique. But as an artist, if I want to be able to do that for the rest of my life, the struggle for me, as I've started to witness in these past couple weeks, is that, and this might just be like a human phenomenon, like a psyche thing, we want to identify ourselves with things. We want to be able to put ourselves in nice, neat, cute little boxes with a label and a bow tie and be like, here, this is me. However, for me, in my life experience, putting myself in any sort of box whatsoever really dials down my fucking life force. Like, it holds me back, if you know what I'm saying. So how do you do that as an artist? How do you say you're one thing when you know eventually that's going to change, and it could be as soon as tomorrow? And so when I find myself wanting to express to you in ways that are definitive, I realize, and this is the one principle that I told you I was going to share with you that's really been able to help me kind of cultivate some sort of understanding to develop all of my senses and skills and techniques under one umbrella. And it's the principle that out of all of the chaos in the world, out of all of the crazy things that are happening and how things change and evolve, out of all of the chaos in the world, creativity is the only underlying constant. That's what it's like for me. In a world full of change, creativity seems to be the only constant. So no matter what I'm going through, utilizing creativity in some artistic form whatsoever, whether that's a conversation or a painting, it really helps me express the evolution of the moment. And really, if we're all talking about mindfulness and meditation and be present, to me, that's the only way to be present as an artist, is to allow yourself to experience the moment as it is, surrender whatever part of you. To me, I'm like talking to myself now, surrendering my ego to whatever I want it to be in that moment, whatever it needs to be, versus whatever I think it should be. And any of those, like, as cliche as it sounds, any of those shoulds really fucking kill. But to me, I was having this conversation with my boyfriend too. Like, the underlying theme too, part two, constant, or principle two. Art is a way of practicing not lying to yourself. And I have my seasons. Now I'm literally just vlogging, but I have my seasons. Some days I'm a poet. Some days I'm an author. Some days I'm a painter, an artist, a chalkboard letterer. Some days I'm just a really good girlfriend. Some days I'm a horrible motherfucking girlfriend. Some days I'm a good sister and a good daughter, and I'm just creating a life that I want to live. So if I follow the principle that creativity is the only constant in a world full of change, then I promise to myself to use art as a way to practice learning not how to lie to myself. Whatever I'm experiencing in the moment, I'm going to express it, and I'm going to express it fully. The part about being an artist and wanting to monetize off that is this whole separate idea of mastering something and developing technical skill. And I definitely want to do that. That's just like a desire of mine. I want to, whenever I think of what it is that I have to be or what I should be, I just think about this idea that creativity is the only constant in a world full of change. So if I can do anything for you, it would be to develop this sense of surrender and let go so that I can create within the moment and share that with you. And then on my side, what I promise and dedicate myself to is developing the technical skill and the mastering of specific things like lettering and coloring and saturation and contrast and composition. So that's what I have to share with you, the basic principle that keeps my life kind of going and on the straight and narrow. Not to say that success is a narrow and straight path, but it helps keep me under this umbrella of, like, Victoria, you're doing fine. You don't have to define yourself by anything. As long as you're creating, you're a creative being. Just fucking create, express, and emote. And for me, that's where therapy comes in, because it helps me decide what the appropriate emotion is to how do I elicit and react and respond. So yeah, that's what I have to say for now. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what your idea of creativity is, what kind of artist you want to be, whatever comes to mind. I appreciate any comments and feedback. And if you're not already subscribed, please do. I love you so much. V out.